They trusted the system.
Thieves are waiting and watching to see if you take out money. Then they follow you.
Credit cards, Zelle, even major banks. 2025 proves that no one is safe. These scams are smarter, faster, and more convincing than ever. Entire savings gone in seconds. This is the dark truth behind the perfect trap set this year, and by the time you realize it, your money is already gone.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
This one mistake after leaving the bank could cost you everything.
The driver says she had just withdrawn $20,000 from a bank to make a down payment on a house. Police believe she was eyeballed at the bank by the people in this car and followed to a mall.
Most people have no idea until it's too late.
It can happen quickly anywhere at any time. In Austin, Texas, police report more than 60 cases in the first half of the year. And in California, police have noticed an uptick over the past few months.
Let's break down exactly what you need to know. So first off, let's go ahead and break down what bank jugging is, okay? This isn't just happening in one city, it's nationwide.
There is a robbery scheme called bank jugging that is being seen in California and other places in the country, and police fear it's becoming more popular. Stephanie Haynes joins us live to explain how it works and what you need to watch out for.
Usually starts right here at a bank. Thieves are waiting and watching to see if you take out money. Then they follow you to your next location, whether that's the parking lot, a store, or your home. It's something you need to watch out for.
So according to reports from ABC News, CBS, and law enforcement agencies in Texas, Florida, Illinois, and Georgia, jugging is on a rise and fast. So let's talk about how it works, how to spot it, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Here's 5 things you need to know about bank jugging right now. Number 1, most of the time it will start in the parking lot, okay? So jugging suspects, they typically sit in the car outside the bank or outside the credit union, and then usually with tinted windows or like vehicles that's like kind of blacked out. Now they're watching for customers who go in empty-handed and then come out with either a bank envelope, a zipper bag, or just looking cautious like they got a lot of money that they just took out.
The driver says she had just withdrawn $20,000 from a bank to make a down payment on a house. Police believe she was eyeballed at the bank by the people in this car and followed to a mall. They say a female member of the gang approached the victim's car and got her attention by asking, "Did you drop some money?" The victim gets out looking for a $5 bill. Then an accomplice sneaks up, reaches into the open car, and grabs the woman's purse with the 20 grand in it.
So for example, they may zoom in on someone that walks in wearing work clothes, but then walks out checking over their shoulder.
Sometimes the thieves don't even bother creating a distraction. This driver told cops he withdrew $1,000 from the bank. The bad guys followed him, then pulled up alongside, smashed the window, and grabbed an envelope with the money in it.
So here's what you need to watch for. Cars that have been idling for 30 plus minutes with people inside, or especially those like out of state tags or those that look like rental cars or people that's kind of sitting inside the car, but they never get out the vehicle.
The woman robbed as soon as she got home was likely followed from the bank. This is surveillance video you're seeing from the victim's apartment complex off the Beltway on April the 1st. Police say the woman had just parked when a red SUV pulled up. You see it there. A man got out of the SUV, opened the passenger side door of the victim's vehicle, grabbed her purse, got into the car and drove off. Police say the victim had just withdrawn money from the bank, and it is likely the suspect followed her.
Number 2, they use lookouts, phones, and yes, even radios as well too, okay? Usually this isn't just one guy. It's usually a crew of people, okay? So jugging crews, they typically work in teams. One person may follow you into the bank. They may even be pretending to be a customer. Then what they do is they're going to alert the person outside as soon as you make a transaction. The outside team then follows you by car. Some even use air tags or tracking devices to keep tabs on you. For example, in Houston, police busted a jugging ring that used walkie-talkies, okay? And they had an inside person who worked at the bank. That's how serious this has gotten.
Meantime, we have big developments in a violent attempted robbery that left a woman critically injured. That woman had just withdrawn money from a bank, and all along, investigators with Precinct 4 Constable's office said it was an inside job. Tonight, they've arrested the bank employee believed to be that inside link. 2 others are also in custody, and deputies are looking for a 4th suspect as we speak.
At the very latest, we know she has just processed into jail. We're told she also worked at that bank, and now she is accused in this robbery. Bank employee 25-year-old Shelby Wise sits in jail charged with robbery. The Harris County District Attorney's Office filed that charge this afternoon. The Precinct 4 Constable's office arrested her early this morning. Constable Mark Herman says she was at work the day that the victims withdrew $75,000 from the bank.
There is a 4th one out there that I can assure you is not sleeping right now.
She joins 2 others already in jail for the robbery, including her boyfriend, Trayvon Johnson, who is also a defendant. Here, he appeared before a magistrate judge. He turned himself in after he was captured on surveillance camera, and the video was released of the victim being run over. Investigators say 27-year-old Johnson and 31-year-old Davis Mitchell followed a bank customer who had just withdrawn $75,000.
By the way, if you're looking to improve your credit score and you want to start seeing results in just 30 days, go ahead and grab my free credit guide today. It's helped thousands of people take back control of their credit and get on the path to homeownership, lowering their car payment, and more. Go ahead and scan the QR code right here on your screen or click the link inside the description below. Number 3, the follow happens fast, okay? You might think that you noticed someone tailing you, but they've mastered the art of blending in, all right? And here's how they do it. They don't rush. They may even let you get blocks ahead. And then what they do is they end up catching up to you in between lights. Now, keep in mind, they're looking for one thing. They're looking for you to either leave your car when you park and hoping that you left cash inside the vehicle, or if they think that you took the money with you when you left the car, then they're probably going to run up on you. Number 4, home is no longer off limits. It's not even safe. Here's why. Jugging doesn't always stop when you park the car. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but in some extreme cases, criminals follow the victims home. Then they break into the car or they rob them. And yes, in their driveway.
A Houston woman who cleans homes is traumatized after she says thieves followed her home from the bank and stole thousands of dollars.
And tonight she is out of her entire savings, and our Bryce Newberry found out that's not all the thieves got away with.
This trunk filled with supplies tells the story of a hardworking single mom who has cleaned 3 homes a day for 5 years.
I started with nothing. I had to work all these years in order to provide for my family, for my son.
She's scared to show her face after last week she went to this bank near Washington and Yale to withdraw the most she ever has, $10,700.
I was going to buy a new car. I was planning on celebrating my son's birthday.
She left this bank in the Washington corridor and traveled about 40 minutes north, not realizing anyone may have been following. But once she got home, the money didn't even make it inside. She made a quick stop in the apartment leasing office and came back to her car cleaned out.
Oh my God, what happened? I thought it was just a dream. I just couldn't believe it. It happened so fast.
Not just cash, but also her ID, passport, work permit, insurance cards, and iPad gone. So far this year, HCSO has investigated 92 jugging crimes across the county.
Number 5, most victims never realize it's even happening, okay? Here's the most dangerous part about all of this. Victims usually don't notice it until it's too late because there is no warning. There is no confrontation. It's usually just a busted window or someone running up to you with a pistol or some type of weapon.
And police fear it's becoming more popular. Stephanie Haynes joins us live.
It's something you need to watch out for. Robbers who are stalking their victims. This video is of a gunpoint robbery in Sherman Oaks, California. The customer throws his bag of $10,000 cash and the thieves take off. It's called bank jugging. Thieves watch you taking out money from the bank, follow you, and rob you. It can happen quickly anywhere at any time. In Austin, Texas, police report more than 60 cases in the first half of the year. And in California, police have noticed an uptick over the past few months. Law enforcement are telling people, pay attention, talk to the teller, and take a look at who's around.
Don't be fumbling for your keys. Don't be fumbling for your phone. Oftentimes I see people, they're texting. They're in the middle of a phone conversation. They're walking to the car. Be laser focused. And when you get in the car, lock the doors. If you sense something, stay in the bank.
This is why awareness is your best defense. So what can you do about these things? Don't worry, I got you. Number one, don't carry or try your best not to carry large cash in public view, okay? Use a discreet bag, don't flash bank envelopes, or even better, use mobile deposits or wires if you can. Number two, vary your routine, especially if you're picking up money or depositing money all the time. Don't make deposits or withdrawals at the same exact bank at the same time every single week, okay? Try to mix up your schedule. I know it sounds like a lot, but especially if you go to banks that's in different type of areas, people are always watching, and you may even decide to use different routes. Also, if you can, try your best to park in a well-lit or a high traffic area. Tip number three, watch your mirrors, okay? After leaving the bank, make 3 right turns. If a car is still behind you, it might not be a coincidence. Call someone and put them on speaker. So again, this is if you're in the habit of picking up money on a frequent basis, depositing money on a frequent basis, but typically this is going to be a withdrawal situation, okay? And better yet, you can also drive to a police station or a busy shopping plaza instead of just going home, because chances are, if you're in the public, it's going to reduce the chances of it happening. Tip number 4, I know this may sound like common sense, but don't leave cash in the car. Even if it's just for a quick stop, don't do it, okay? Jugging suspects are always watching, and they're waiting for that exact moment. Now, here's the thing. If you have to stop, take the cash with you, even if it's inconvenient. Tip number 5, report suspicious activity, because it may not necessarily be happening to you, but if you notice that someone is watching the bank or following others, call your local non-emergency police line, because you might save someone else from being a victim. If you think this video is great, you haven't seen anything yet, I'll see you at the next one.
They can drain your account without ever touching your card too.
Today we're going to be diving into a silent but growing threat that could be costing you your hard-earned money.
FBI reports credit card skimmers cost financial institutions and consumers $1 billion a year.
Now, it's happening everywhere, and this isn't something new.
And they're being discovered in everyday places, from gas stations to ATMs to grocery and retail stores.
Put into the device.
A green light means this credit card reader is safe to use. But if it goes red,
that means there would be a skimming device located.
And the criminals behind it are getting smarter, faster, and harder to catch as well. You might not even know that you've been hit until it's been too late. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll be armed with the knowledge to protect yourself, spot these devices, and understand what authorities are doing to fight back. Let's get into it. The rise in card skimming is alarming. These devices are designed to steal your credit or your debit card information. Now, this also includes your PIN number right at the point of transaction. The FBI estimates that credit card skimmers cost financial institutions and consumers like me and you over $1 billion annually. It's a massive organized crime wave, and reports are pouring in from all over the United States. Just recently, there were police that were on a hunt for a suspect caught on camera placing a skimming device right onto a convenience store's card machine. And here's what's crazy. It happened so fast, and the clerk didn't even notice until much later. Take a look at this footage. Watch this.
Police are looking for a suspect caught in the act on store surveillance. Take a look at this footage of a man Burlington Township police are looking for. He's seen here on camera attaching what police say is a skimming device to the debit and credit card machine in a 7-Eleven.
I see on news sometimes, but not in my real life. It's my first time. I'm also shocked.
Prabdeep was working alone at the store on Columbus Road around 5 o'clock yesterday evening when it happened.
Now that's unbelievable, right? And it's not just this isolated incident. We're seeing widespread issues. Skimming devices have been found in multiple convenience stores across New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois. I mean, you name it, they're everywhere. Authorities believe that many of these incidents could be linked to the same organized rings used in these small homemade skimmers. Now, to be honest with you, you can get a skimmer almost anywhere, okay? They're even inserting them inside of ATMs and attaching small, tiny cameras just above the keypad to record your PIN number, okay? Check this out.
Watch this security video from inside the 7-Eleven as the scammer inserts a device inside the ATM using his card and then sticks a metal plate containing a camera above the keyboard.
And these devices are immediately sent to the U.S. Secret Service for forensic analysis. It's truly a region-wide crime wave. Now, here's another thing. Staying on top of your finances in general is crucial, especially with threats like skimming on the rise. And speaking of protecting yourself, if you're looking to take control of your financial health, I put together a free credit guide that breaks down everything you need to know about building and maintaining a strong credit score. There's even some actionable tips that you can take right now to improve your credit score no matter where you are. Go ahead and scan the QR code right here on your screen or click the link inside the description to learn more. So with this increase in threat, I know what the question is. How do you protect yourself? The good news is there are clear, actionable steps that you can take right now. Your first line of defense is always vigilance. Before you swipe or insert your card, do a quick inspection. Take a look and see if it feels funny, if it looks funny. Now, there's a news station in Boston that came out with excellent advice. Watch this real quick.
You should do a physical inspection of the card reader first. Check to see if there are any loose parts or mismatched colors or materials. Look for tamper-evident features. Some card readers have tamper stickers or seals. Check to see if they appear to be broken.
Now, as they explain, look for anything like I mentioned that seems off, loose parts, mismatched colors or materials, or even something that may be looking like it's broken, okay? Give the card slot and the keypad like a wiggle just to see if it's loose, okay? A legitimate card reader should feel sturdy and flush with the machine. If it feels flimsy or like something's attached to it, clearly that's a huge red flag. Another critical tip, which multiple police departments emphasize, is to always shield your PIN when you enter it. Now, it could be just covering your hand or whatever, okay? But even if you don't see an obvious skimmer, a tiny pinhole camera could still be recording your keystrokes from above. Make it a habit to cover your hand as you type in the numbers. And whenever possible, opt to do a tap to pay or contactless payment methods. Using your phone for Apple Pay, Google Pay, or Samsung Pay, or just simply tapping your card adds an extra layer of security because your card details, they aren't directly exposed to the reader. Now, also, if you have a choice, use the credit card over a debit card, okay? Here's why. Credit cards generally offer better fraud protection, making it easier to dispute unauthorized charges. And finally, always monitor your bank and credit card statements regularly for any suspicious activity. It's real simple, guys. If something looks off, report it immediately to your bank. Now, while we do our part as consumers, law enforcement agencies are also stepping up their game. The fight against skimmers is a constant battle because, as I mentioned, this isn't anything new, but it's getting trickier. Police departments are investigating in new tools, but police departments are investing in new tools and strategies. Take, for example, there's a police department in Florida. Here's what they've done. They've acquired brand new credit card skimming detection devices funded by grants to actively seek out and dismantle these type of operations. Check this out. It's actually pretty cool.
Push the button, you get a blue light. Put it into the device.
A green light means this credit card reader is safe to use. But if it goes red,
that means there would be a skimming device located.
This gas station off of 12th Avenue East in Bradenton was clear of skimmers. But on the first day and first try of using the skimmer detector at another local convenience store.
So here's the deal. The blue light means it's on, the green light means it's safe, and the red light means a skimmer is present, okay? These devices are a game changer, allowing officers to quickly identify and remove these hidden threats. In fact, it's on the very first use, and these detectors have helped uncover an in-store terminal skimming device that was clearly placed on top of a legitimate card reader, okay, designed to look like the actual register. While mobile payment options like tap to pay offer double encryption and are also considered safer, these police initiatives are vital for protecting everyone, especially those who rely on traditional card swiping. It's a coordinated effort, okay? Consumers being vigilant, staying on top of things, and law enforcement deploying advanced tactics that will ultimately make it harder for these criminals to succeed. Card skimming is a serious threat, all right? But with awareness and simple precautions, you can significantly reduce your risk. Expect every card reader, shield your PIN number, consider tap to pay, and monitor your account religiously. The more we know, the safer we will be. Remember, staying informed is your best defense. I'll see you at the next video. Are you one text message away from financial disaster?
If this was not you, reply stop, which I did.
$2,500 was drained from Leanne's bank account. Loans were taken out in her name, destroying her credit rating.
In this video, I'm going to show you 3 real-life stories of people who lost thousands of dollars in an instant and how you can avoid being the next victim.
Minutes later, her contact information at Bank of America changed.
And it all starts with something that we use every single day.
The scam is simple. The text says something like this.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go into a topic that is critically important for every single person watching this video, okay? And that is financial security in the digital age. It's not just about saving money or investing. It's about protecting what you already have from the growing number of sophisticated scams. And these scams, they're designed to drain your accounts and potentially ruin your credit because now your access to money has changed. We're going to break down exactly what happened to them and, more importantly, how you can prevent it from happening to you. Story number 1, the port out scam. Even though this happened in a different country, we've never seen it like this before in the States.
Fraudsters are stealing mobile phone numbers in order to access and empty bank accounts.
Leanne McLean's life has been turned upside down. Her bank accounts drained and loans taken out in her name.
They were able to change my email, passwords. They broke into my social media.
The nurse, one of hundreds falling victim to unauthorised porting each month. Unauthorised porting is where fraudsters use your personal data to move your phone number to a different telecommunications provider, allowing them to receive your SMS messages like codes to authorise bank transactions.
I received a message saying, you've requested an eSIM. If this was not you, reply stop, which I did, and my number was still ported.
$2,500 was drained from Leanne's bank account. Loans were taken out in her name, destroying her credit rating.
My days are basically taken up by trying to prove who I am again.
If you get a message from a telco about porting your number, contact them immediately, as well as your bank, to temporarily freeze your accounts until you can make sure your information is safe.
Now think about that for a second. She did everything right. She even replied stop to the text message, but the system, it failed her. This isn't some high-tech hack that only targets people with millions of dollars or celebrities, okay? For example, a scammer could get your name and your phone number from a basic data breach. Call your phone provider and use a little bit of social engineering to convince them that they are you. I'm sure you guys have heard of AI, right? Or artificial intelligence. The consequences are devastating, not just to your bank account, but to your credit score, which gets hammered by missed payments on whether you have a loan that you were not able to make the payment on, a credit card that you had to miss the payment on because the money has been taken out of your account. Or worse, you're missing payments on loans that were not opened by you, so you didn't even know about them, okay? So how can you avoid this nightmare scenario? Number 1, if you ever get a message from your phone provider about porting your number and you know it wasn't you, call them immediately, okay? Call them directly. Don't just go call the number inside the text message or anything like that, okay? Number two, the moment you suspect that something is wrong, call your bank and have them put a temporary freeze on your accounts. This can stop a transfer right in its tracks, all right? And third, and this is very crucial, start using a multi-factor authentication app like Google Authenticator. These apps are not tied to your phone number. So even if a scammer steals your phone number, they can't get the authentication code. Now, this is different from two-factor authentication where, you may get a text message confirming that you are you. You may get an email. This is something that it changes the number every single few seconds, okay? Now, speaking of protecting your finances, it's not just about preventing theft. It's also about building a strong financial foundation that can withstand a potential crisis like this one, okay? A huge part of that is your credit score. If you're struggling with a low credit score, or you may be feeling stuck, or you're just tired of getting denied for the things that you know you want, I know how frustrating that can be. It's a major issue and pain point for so many people. That's why we created a free credit improvement guide, okay? It's the no-nonsense, straightforward guide packed with actionable tips that you can use right now to start improving your credit score in as little as 30 days. So all you got to do is click the link below, or you can scan the QR code right here on your phone. Story number 2, the SIM swap scam. But now you may be thinking, okay, I'll just use an authenticator app and I'm good. I even got two-factor authentication set up on everything that I have. I have things going to my phone, text messages, emails, whatever. I'm safe. Here's where you're wrong.
How did a Maryland woman lose $17,000 even though she had two-factor authentication on all of her accounts?
A lot simpler than you could ever imagine.
We all know criminals have multiple ways to steal your identity, but 7 News is sending out a warning. SIM card swapping almost cost Sharon Hussey of Bethesda, Maryland, $17,000.
It was absolutely stunning. It was just like my heart fell to the floor.
It all started when Hussey got this email thanking her for a purchase of a new phone at Verizon. Minutes later, her contact information at Bank of America changed. The problem? She didn't do either transaction and had two-factor authentication on her accounts.
The bottom just kind of dropped out.
She called Bank of America, but her cell phone was no longer active. An online attempt required a verification code her phone couldn't receive. Within minutes, her $17,000 was missing.
Initially, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. I thought I had handled it on the first day by calling the bank, calling Verizon, figuring things out.
Hussey tells 7 News Verizon said someone in California walked into one of its stores and purchased a new phone along with a new SIM card and used Hussey's current phone number to activate the new phone. When the new phone was turned on, Hussey's phone went dead. Hussey used a landline to contact Bank of America, but it was too late. $17,000 vanished.
And I have two-factor authentication, which ended up kind of biting me in the face when it all came down to it. That was the thing that completely hijacked everything. They had complete control of my phone, and there was nothing I could do about it.
SIM card swapping has been around for the past 4 years. But security experts tell 7 News this type of scam has recently skyrocketed.
This story is a perfect example of why just relying on text-based verification is not enough anymore. This is 2025. You got AI and so many other things, okay? So what can we do to prevent this? First, you need to call your mobile carrier right now, today, and set up a PIN or a special number when you're trying to do a porting PIN, okay? This adds an extra layer of security, and it's free, that someone needs to provide in order to make changes to your account. This isn't something that's automatically done with a lot of phone companies, unfortunately. Number 2, we mentioned this before, switch all of your two-factor authentication to an authenticator app or a biometric scan like either your face or your fingerprint. This is going to make scams like this almost impossible. And third, be mindful of what you share online. Story number 3, the smishing scam. I know it sounds like phishing, but it's not, okay? So we've talked about scams that directly target your phone number, okay? But what about the messages that you get every single day? Some of you all delete them. Some of you all do the delete and report junk. I don't think that works, but anyway, they seem harmless. But the next scam is so widespread that you've probably seen it yourself and didn't even realize the danger that you were in.
Please pay your fast-track lane tolls by February 22nd, 2025. It's an old-school scam in a new form. It's enabled by the rise of smartphones, cashless billing and transaction systems, and AI. The scam is simple. The text says something like this: you have unpaid tolls. You need to pay them by a certain date or else. Then it will often supply a link and or ask you to respond. It might spell out some kind of threat, as you can see on mine. If you don't pay this, you will be fined or you will lose your license or whatever. So you, conscientious and concerned citizen that you are, click on the link. From there, one of a few things can happen. Your phone could start downloading malware, software that can damage your device or steal your data. The link could also take you to a fake website where you enter your credit card or bank account information and bam, the scammers have your financial info.
The second you click that point of no return, the Pac-Man game over, I call it, is don't click that.
The best way to avoid this one is real simple, but it requires you to be vigilant, okay? First, never click on a link in a suspicious text message. I know we say that a lot of times, but people still fall for this every day. Just don't do it. Number 2, do not reply, not even with stop, okay? Replying just confirms to the scammers that 1, your number is active, and 2, they will target you even more because they know that you're going to respond. And number 3, if you are concerned that you might actually have an unpaid toll, just go directly to the official website, call the official number, or stop by the local branch of the tolling agency and check your account in real life. Make sure you guys are already subscribed to the channel, and we'll see you all on the next video. A woman had $3,500 stolen through Zelle in less than 30 minutes. And here's the crazy part. Her bank told her it was 100% her fault. This is happening again nationwide, and you could be next.
And they were asking me if I had approved a Zelle transaction, and I said no. And then I received a call, and the number was from Wells Fargo.
Zelle is fast, convenient, and trusted by millions. But here's the problem. Behind the scenes, scammers are draining bank accounts, and banks are turning a blind eye.
As soon as I gave him the code, the phone conversation disconnected.
And her money was gone.
Wiped my account out, had a zero balance.
In this video, I'm going to show you all exactly, step by step, how these scams work, what banks aren't telling you, and how to protect yourself, whether you use Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Now let's start with the truth. Banks love Zelle, okay? It's fast, it's cheap, and it doesn't cost them transaction fees like Visa or MasterCard. But here's the issue. Zelle was built without basic consumer protection. Let me give you an example. If someone tricks you into sending money, you're almost never getting it back. That's not just my opinion. That's exactly what happened to this one lady in Chicago. Watch this.
Totaling $3,500. His bank statement shows Imperial hit his account again.
And this isn't rare. The Senate Banking Committee found that fraud on Zelle exploded to over $440 million in 2021, and that was just 1 year alone, okay? And banks only refunded a tiny fraction of it. Check this out. The worst part, most people only find out how vulnerable they are after it's too late. Now, before I break down exactly how these scams are done and which banks are the worst at protecting you, I want to make sure you understand that you have the right tools to stay ahead. I put together a free credit guide to help you avoid financial traps like this. boost your credit score, and make smarter money moves in 2025. You could download it right now. The link is inside the description, or you can scan the QR code right here on your screen. Let me walk you through how the Zelle scam works step by step. Number one is called social engineering. Here's what happens. A scammer poses as your bank's fraud department. Now, they may call you, they may text you, and it would also sometimes say the actual bank's name, okay? And they'll let you know it's some suspicious activity going on. The number they call from, like I said, it looks just like your bank. The technique is called spoofing and is terrifyingly effective. Step number two, induced panic, okay? They convince you that your account is under attack, and the only way to stop it is to transfer your money to yourself. And the only way to do that is going to be through Zelle, okay? Which really means that you're sending that money directly to the scammer. Step number three, it's gone, okay? Once it's sent, it's instant and irreversible. Your bank says it was authorized, even though you were tricked. Now, here's the crazy part. Watch this.
The money's gone. It's gone. It like disappeared.
Cynthia Moran is still in disbelief. She was convinced it was her bank on the phone, helping her stop a fraud and sending her money safely back to her account. Instead, the money's all gone.
It's just scary. It's a scary feeling.
Like so many others, it began with a text.
And they were asking me if I had approved a Zelle transaction. And I said no. And then I received a call, and the number was from Wells Fargo.
A woman on the phone said someone was withdrawing her money. She had to stop it fast.
They told me to go on Zelle and transfer funds to myself.
The woman told her to cancel the phone number on her Zelle account and instead put in her own name. So it seemed legit. And these messages seemed to show she sent herself $1,000, then $700.
It clearly shows it was deposited into my account.
But it wasn't. Instead, it was going straight to the imposters using her name to receive her funds.
My money was gone. So when I went to go look, I had $6 left.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
It was nearly identical to the scam that hit thousands of Bank of America customers last fall.
It was an eye-opener. I was shivering. I was crying.
I kissed the money goodbye.
I literally cried.
Now the scam is hitting Wells Fargo customers like Cynthia and Kelly Reynolds of San Jose.
I had to go into the Zelle app and I had to remove my phone number.
Kelly was skeptical.
I had said, how do I know you're from Wells Fargo? You could be anybody.
The man told her to check the caller ID on her phone, and it showed the real Wells Fargo phone number. But it was a fake, a spoof. Kelly didn't know that. So she followed his instructions, transferred her funds, and read him the transaction code.
As soon as I gave him the code, the phone conversation disconnected.
And her money was gone.
Wiped my account out, had a zero balance.
She called Wells Fargo right away.
I've been a customer of theirs for over 15 years. They'll help me, they'll figure it out. And they really didn't.
And they said, well, we don't guarantee Zelle. I was like, what do you mean you don't guarantee Zelle? So why is it something that we could do on our account?
It was just, oh, well, you lost the money.
Sorry, you authorized it. There's nothing we can do.
Why banks aren't helping? Here's the problem. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Bank, and yes, even Navy Federal have all been hit with complaints. Why? Because Zelle is owned by the banks, okay? That includes JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Yes, all of them. They run it, okay? And the more complaints they accept, the more they risk having refunds of millions of dollars. So many are playing defense, okay? Let me show you how you can protect yourself. I'm going to show you 5 rules that you need to follow. Number 1, never respond to text messages claiming to be your bank. And if you think it's something legit, just call your bank directly using the number on the back of your debit or credit card. Number 2, turn off Zelle, especially if you don't use it. Yes, you can disable it through your bank's app or settings, or you can call the customer service line and they can walk you through it. Next, you want to limit your daily transfer limit, okay? Now, some banks allow you to set a max transfer amount. Use it. Next, you want to use your alerts wisely. Set up real-time notifications for every Zelle transfer, because we've also seen some situations where the Zelle was actually done without the person's process or permission. Also, you want to get in the habit of reporting scams to the CFPB while they're still around, okay? And you can click here to let me be clear. These scams are not stopping. If anything, they're getting worse. They're getting more advanced, okay? And until real regulation can catch up, it's on us, the consumers, to stay sharp, because these banks are not going to help us, okay? If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right and you're still falling behind, whether it's protecting your bank account or rebuilding your credit, you're not alone, okay? The system's not designed to make it easy, but that's why we do this, so you're never walking blind, okay? Now, I got more videos just like this, breaking down scams and just things that are going on with banks in general. And here, stick around in the channel and we'll see you on the next video. Write this date down, March 23rd, 2025. Banks are starting to change the rules on how you send money. Now, why are they doing this? Let me show you.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
I sent out $7,000.
You're gonna go to Zelle. Text message from Bank of America asking me if I was trying to transfer $3,500.
Now, some people were actually going to get some money back from a lawsuit from Zelle, but you won't believe what stopped that from happening.
The Trump administration dropped a lawsuit going after some of the nation's largest banks over their peer-to-peer payments network, Zelle.
In this video, I'm going to explain why banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and even Chase Bank are starting to make major changes on how you send money. Also, if you make it to the end, let me know in the comment section below. Let's get started. It looks like Chase Bank will be the first bank to get the ball rolling on their changes with the Zelle platform, and the date is going to be March 23rd, 2025. So Chase Bank says to help protect you from fraud and scams, the Zelle service should be used for payments between friends, family, and others that you trust, and should not be used to pay for goods from recipients from whom you're not familiar with. They go on to say if you are sending a Zelle payment from your Chase account that is identified as originating from contact through social media, we may, in our discretion, delay, decline, or even block that payment. For years, many people have complained about their money being stolen from their accounts with other people using Zelle. Now, some of it was people falling for a scam, and some of it people had nothing to do with. Watch this.
These scams have impacted around 18 million Americans. These scams on Zelle. They and the woman I spoke with say big banks need to do more to protect people.
The crooks are, they're very smart.
Last October, she says she got a call from a number that came up on caller ID as Bank of America.
And said, well, did you authorize the $50 for gas? I said, no. By that time, I'm upset.
That person posing as a banker knew her account number and convinced her to send all her money over Zelle using an email address they provided.
They had me thinking that they was putting into another account, but they took all of it.
This Facebook Marketplace scam starts when you're trying to sell a bigger item for more than a few $100s. You get an offer from a supposed buyer, then you get an email that appears to be from Zelle. It says the buyer is trying to pay you from a Zelle business account. But to upgrade to a Zelle business account, the buyer's payment to you needs to be about $300 more. But guess what? That email isn't from Zelle. It's from the fake buyer who says he'd be happy to pay an extra $300 to complete the purchase if you just send him $300 back to reimburse him.
In reality, the scammer is tricking you into paying them for an upgrade that doesn't exist.
Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you gotta do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
Holy smokes, no way.
This person told me that someone was trying to scam me.
So this is happening to many people.
It appeared as though it was a text message from Bank of America asking me if I was trying to transfer $3,500.
I said no. And within 15 seconds, my phone rang.
He said, okay, we're going to get you that $3,500 back.
You're going to go to Zelle and you're going to send it to yourself.
They were all targets of the same scam. All believed they were reversing a fraudulent transaction. All were actually sending money straight to the imposters.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
It was an eye-opener.
And all were customers of Bank of America until now.
It says Chase Bank fraud alert, Zelle payment in the amount of $2,000.
It was a Friday night when Donald James got the frightening text.
If you made this transaction, reply yes. If not, reply no. I said no. And my phone rang, and it was Brian from the Chase Bank Fraud Department.
Or so he thought.
Caller ID number was identical to the one on the back of my Chase card.
But the caller ID was fake.
And he goes, well, let's go over these charges. Did you send a Zelle for $2,000? I was like, no. And he says, we need to send the money back to yourself.
The imposter told him to transfer the money with Zelle using his own phone number. It seemed like it was going back to Donald. It wasn't.
I was getting notifications on my phone that I had sent myself money.
He typed in the transaction codes and the imposters snatched the money at the other end.
I sent out $7,000 over a matter of several transactions.
When one transaction went awry, the scammers got angry
and hung up. And I went, wow, I have been scammed.
It was the same con that hit B of A customers across the country. And like B of A, Chase denied Donald's fraud claim.
Basically, their attitude is, if it's on Zelle, shame on you.
Now, with so many people complaining about money being stolen from their accounts and Zelles and scams and fraud and things of that sort, it was a matter of time before Congress had to get involved and have a discussion with people from Zelle and other banking institutions. Let me show you how that went.
So 6 of the 7 banks who are here today, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Truist, US Bank, and PNC, jointly created and own the nation's most popular peer-to-peer payment platform, Zelle. Right now in this committee, if you would all be willing to say, or any of you would be willing to say, if a customer is defrauded on Zelle and they come and complain to the bank, then the bank will make it good. Let's do this one by a show of hands. Who is willing to make that commitment to your customers?
As you can see for yourself, representatives from Zelle and all these other banking institutions didn't want to change anything. They didn't want to refund anything. And at that point, you already know who was going to step in. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Check this out.
Platform Zelle and 3 of the nation's largest banks have been sued by the federal government over alleged widespread fraud payments through Zelle.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau claims in its lawsuit that Americans have lost hundreds of millions of dollars because the app doesn't protect them.
Jen, consumers have been complaining about this for years, and now they're hopeful that this lawsuit will help.
The peer-to-peer payment app Zelle helps consumers transfer money easily, but that ease has made it popular with crooks, too. For years, viewers have called Better Call Bankin' saying criminals use the app to transfer money out of their bank accounts. Now, the Federal Consumer Protection Bureau has sued the company that operates Zelle, along with 3 of its owner banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo. The CFPB alleges the defendants rushed to create the app to compete with other well-known apps and failed to implement effective consumer safeguards. Federal rules require banks to reimburse customers for unauthorized payments, for example, if their accounts are hacked. The lawsuit alleges hundreds of thousands of consumers filed fraud complaints with their banks but were largely denied. Zelle is publicly fighting back on its website, calling the lawsuit a, quote, meritless attack that will make it harder for 143 million consumers and small businesses who use the platform. Zelle issued a statement that says, in part, the CFPB's attacks on Zelle are legally and factually flawed, and the timing of this lawsuit appears to be driven by political factors unrelated to Zelle. Zelle leads the fight against scams and fraud and has industry-leading reimbursement policies that go above and beyond the law.
Now, all of a sudden, Zelle wants to go ahead and make some changes, but they don't like the fact that someone had to tell them to do this. So sure enough, what happens when financial institutions have a problem with people telling them what to do? They call in the big dogs, the Trump administration. Let me show you.
A major development as the Trump administration dropped a lawsuit going after some of the nation's largest banks over their peer-to-peer payments network, Zelle. Brian Chung is here. Brian, what's going on?
Lester, the original lawsuit from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau alleged that JP Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America didn't take meaningful action against fraud that cost customers $870 million on Zelle, which the banks co-own, an allegation the banks had denied. But today, the CFPB abruptly dropped that suit without explanation. In a statement, Zelle welcomed the decision to drop the lawsuit, which it said was legally and factually flawed. And just last month, President Donald Trump installed Russell Vought as acting director of the CFPB. Vought was a key architect of conservative agenda Project 2025. Under Vought, the CFPB has closed its offices and sought to fire hundreds of employees.
If you carry a wallet or a purse, you need to hear this right now, because scammers just pulled off one of the biggest scams of 2025.
By the time it was over, thousands had vanished from her bank account and her daughter's.
We're also going to talk about another scam, and this time they drug you first.
Two men scammed her and got away with $11,000 from her bank account.
Mary now believes she was drugged.
One after another, people commented the same thing had happened to them or their loved one.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I know it's a tough truth, but scammers are constantly finding new and devious ways to steal our hard-earned money, okay? So now today we're going to shine a light on some of the most concerning scams that's happening right now, okay? Now our goal is simple. We want you to be prepared and not surprised. Scam number one, the wallet scam. Now let's start off with a truly upsetting story about a woman who was drugged and lost over $11,000.
Once I turned around, the first guy was right in the front of me.
An 82-year-old Orange County woman claims two men scammed her and got away with $11,000 from her bank account.
It was terrible. It was terrible. And it bothered me to this day, and I can't sleep sometime at night.
Mary Brown said the men approached her outside a Home Depot on West Colonial Drive with a wild story about finding a wallet full of cash.
Before she knew it, the men had actually convinced her to drive away from the store with them in the passenger seats. She told Action 9 consumer investigator Jeff Deal she believes the men drugged her.
Well, she described it as an out-of-body experience. She felt like these men were controlling her. For some reason, she had no problem giving over all of that cash and even giving over the rings off her fingers.
The other guy was sitting right here in the car. He never did get out.
He just stayed in there the whole time while you were in the bank?
The whole time.
Retelling the story for Mary Brown isn't easy, but for her, it's important.
I want everybody to know that these people are out there and they're taking advantage of it.
By these people, she means two older men in their 60s or 70s who approached her outside this Home Depot on West Colonial Drive. She just loaded her trunk with mulch.
Once I turned around, the first guy was right in the front of me.
He had a wallet, claimed another man dropped it and then took off from the parking lot, ranting and raving. A moment later, a second man joined the conversation, claiming he too saw that. The three of them took a quick peek inside the wallet.
And it opened just a little bit. He said, "Oh my God, this is $62,000." And it had a little note in there, $62,000.
Mary suggested they turn it in to Home Depot. But the men convinced her all three of them should divvy up the money. They said the sheriff's office would hold on to it for 90 days, then they would never see it again.
And that's when they got in my car. You know, a man in the front and a man in the back, and I never seen these people before. That's something I would never do in my life.
So they drove from the Home Depot to the Vision Works nearby, which is this building right over here, to get away from the prying eyes of Home Depot's surveillance cameras. The men convinced Mary they each needed to add money to the pot so they could split it up evenly. Mary's bank was just up the road.
So this man sitting in my car with me, he said, "How much money you got?"
It didn't take long before Mary was in and out of the Truist Bank with $11,000 in cash. The entire time, she felt everything was okay.
Were you scared when they went in the car with you?
No, I was not.
She even had no problem handing over the rings off her fingers just before the men left, promising to be right back to divide up the money.
I never seen him again. So I was sitting in my car, and that's when it hit me. "You've been taken."
Mary now believes she was drugged. Why wasn't she scared? Why did she trust these strangers, allow them in her car, and give them all that cash?
Now think about that for a moment. Someone could easily approach you with a seemingly good intention, only to leave you vulnerable and financially devastated. Sadly, Mary's experience isn't unique. Other news reports detail similar wallet scams, where victims, often older adults, are tricked into handing over large sums of their own money. This is exactly why we tell people to stay on top of their credit. We put together a free credit guide to help you understand your credit score, navigate credit reports, and build a strong financial foundation so you can always stay on top of this. To download on any device, scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now let's go into scam number 2. The simple yet effective money distraction. This is a scam that relies on a simple distraction but can have serious financial consequences. Watch how they can drain your bank account in minutes.
Your lucky day. You're so lucky. You're full of luck. It's your lucky day.
No, it wasn't Sarah's lucky day. It was a setup for a classic $20 distraction scam. And by the time it was over, thousands had vanished from her bank account and her daughter's.
And this is the Ralph's I usually come to.
On Wednesday, April 16th, Sarah went to Ralph's grocery store on Satakoy Street and Louise Avenue in Van Nuys. As she was using her debit card to pay, a stranger approached her and said
that I dropped $20, and I said, no, I don't think I did. And I was putting my PIN into the machine, and he came much closer to me and was kind of pushing the $20 into my wallet. You need to back up. Back off.
It all happened in a matter of seconds. Sarah kept insisting.
And I'm like, no, this is yours. This isn't mine.
As Sarah walked back to her car, the same man, now joined by a woman, followed her, again insisting she take the $20. They continued to invade her space.
I knew it wasn't mine. The reason I was getting cash back was because all I had was a couple dollars.
Sarah left the parking lot feeling weird about the encounter. She checked her wallet to see if maybe they had taken any of her cash. They hadn't, but something else was missing.
My heart sank because my debit card wasn't there.
Within 30 minutes, the scammers made multiple withdrawals at Chase Bank several miles away. In total, nearly $5,000 was taken from Sarah's account and her daughter Jennifer's too, because their accounts are linked.
My money is gone and I had just gotten paid, and I'm a teacher. I don't make a lot of money. I really don't. And what I make goes to the things I need, and we can't cover that right now. So it's hard to know that someone can take what you have so easily.
Jennifer filed a police report and shared the story online. She was stunned by the response. One after another, people commented the same thing had happened to them or their loved ones.
It's a huge violation, and I just feel, like I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go. It just is horrible.
It's a reminder to be extremely cautious when approached by strangers, no matter how friendly they may seem. Now, what's so concerning about this tactic is how easily it can happen to anyone, anywhere. As reported by MoneyWise, these distraction scams are becoming more prevalent in everyday locations like grocery stores, malls, and yes, even parking lots as well. This reminds you that you need to be constantly aware of your surroundings and protect your cards at all times. Now, if you like this video, you're most definitely going to like the next one. I'll see you there.